What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This is a brave face, just to let you guys know. Very brave face, actually, that I'm putting on right now. Hope you're doing well. Hope you all survived today. Who would have thought it, eh? Who would have thought it? It was all planned out. It was all meant to be great. And here we are, not looking so great. And actually could be very much the end of this year's bull market. Who would have thought that, eh? We definitely were in a world where we thought we were going to get way more upside momentum. Turns out that's not true. And it turns out that there's one person that doesn't want to see us win. Even though he's told us that, we're all going to be winning and super excited. We're not winning, Donald. We're not winning. Anyway, welcome back as always. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll get into it tonight. We'll talk a look at some charts. We'll try and get, what's going on. Let's try and make some sense of it, all right? I think the bigger question is obviously, what is going to happen next? Is it all done? Blah, 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 right? We talked a little bit last night into why I thought it was. It got way worse today, all right? Let's just call a spade a spade. It got way worse today. No surprise, markets opened for the first time after the Trump announcement of those tariffs. And obviously we got a massive dump in the market. What's weird is you've kind of had this whole narrative that's like been built around it. Like it's insane at the minute. You've got a real divide between the EU and you've got a massive divide in the EU and the US as well. So it's kind of really, really quite wild at the minute. Probably, something we've not seen for a long time. You got the EU leaders doubling down on the fact they should just sack the US off, which obviously they can't do because it's global trade routes. Same with the US. It's like, we'll take a look at all of that and try and make some sense of it. I don't know if there is going to be any sense, by the way. But we'll see. All right. We'll try and make some sort of sense of it. We'll try and understand what's going on and we'll try and get into a little bit more detail as to what is coming next. Because I think that is going to be a critical part that we need to understand, and more importantly, what is the charts telling us, and what is the macro bits of news. So do me a quick favor, by the way, smash up the like button to find your all-time high. Do share this far and wide. TikTok and YouTube has been super weird in terms of like views and pushing stuff out to other people, like super weird. I did 2 videos today, and they literally might as well have not bothered uploading them. They were a complete waste of time. So that was like, 3 hours of my life that I never got back. So do me a quick favor, share it out, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Massively appreciate it. And I don't kind of want to mess around really. I just want to get into what is going on and try to talk a little bit. Probably spend a bit of time here on the charts. Tell us what are the charts telling us? What is the alpha? What do we need to be aware of? And is there any hope left? So yeah. All right. Hopefully you guys are up for it. All right. Let me bring you over here, TikTok, because you guys can come here as well. There you go. Look, TikTok, there is the charts for you guys. Okay, so here we go then. Bitcoin right now, you'll see I've converted the chart a little bit. We lost this breakout here. So if you remember, we had this kind of pattern breakout here from the upward sloping trend line. We sort of got this breakout. Now, what we have got, though, is this lower support trend line that we've got on here. The bull market go or no-go zone, by the way, still sits, if you ask me. It's still an important line. It still, for me, signals whether we get a full-on breakout or not. But the bull market go or no-go zone is very much out of reach right now. So, again, this upward sloping trend line with a couple of these key touch points. So you can see here, look, key touch point here, 1, 2. You could argue, and this is probably where we are right now, this may be the third touch point on this support line. Now, we probably need to hold the up and 89. It's probably a little bit higher, actually. It's probably about there. We probably do need to get back around 89,000 to around 90K on BTC to support this trend, okay, which again is sort of wicked off the bottom here from this big wick down, and we do sort of need to see this kind of a little bit more of a high move. Whether we get there or not, that's going to be the biggest debate. All right, but my god, this crypto larkers on my head. Yeah, tell me about it. It's challenging right now. Good afternoon, what's going on, Via? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Okay, right, good. My cup of tea is done. Need to get rid of that. That third touch point is in trouble. Absolutely, Mark. And that is a significant risk of where we sit. And right now, when you look at, this kind of move that we've got, especially when you take a look at a double down on the Fibonacci as well, and you bring it down here, the 236, 89, 144, essentially, you might as well call this the Goblin Town zone, all right? So if we lose 89, 144 over the course of the next few hours, get freaking ready because Goblin Town, all right, is down here, right? This is where people go for Goblin Town, okay? So forget margaritas. This is Goblin Town. So we need to be very much mindful of what that's happened. Now, if you ask me, I don't know if there's any other macro stuff you could do to try and drive this market down right now. What's going on, DG? Good to see you, man. Cooked. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I don't believe right now there is anything really that drives this market even lower, because you think about what we've had today. You've even had an announcement in the last 30 minutes that Trump's like, yeah, he was asked, how far would you go to acquire Greenland? And he said, you will find out. So I think it's pretty serious. Now, on the flip side of this, I have actually heard that people close to this matter believe that there is a $700 to a $1 billion deal being worked through at the minute, in which that would be for some sort of initial purchase of Greenland with a view that each individual in Greenland gets $100,000 or something like that. That's the number I've been sort of hearing. But forget Greenland, because it's not about Greenland, everybody. This is the ruse. This is where we've been misdirected. Someone's thrown us a dummy pass and they've gone round us and scored a touchdown. This is it. And you're probably thinking, what the heck are you talking about, 2-Bit? Well, we'll get into it in a minute, but it's Japan. Oh no, it's Japan, everybody. We missed this one. It came up out of nowhere. We knew about it, but we just we avoided it at all costs. So we'll get into that in just a minute, but it's Japan, everybody. Forget Greenland. It's not Trump. It's not Greenland. Fat Sonic knows. It's Japan. Charlene says 88,000 back up to 100K. I'm down for it. What's going on, Jamal Hussein? Welcome in, buddy. Daniel, good to see you, buddy. So yeah, this is kind of where we are short term, by the way, which you could argue if we get a bounce off here, happy days. Market structure still sits like we talked about yesterday, where you get this higher high here, followed by the higher low. Higher high, followed by, technically speaking, should be a higher low. That's what we're looking for, a reversal of this trend, printing back to the upside, then testers on the bull market go on, no goes on, all right? There's some of the key things that we need to look out for. Right. How do we get there? What's going to push us up? Again, easing of the Trump playbook. We talked about this yesterday. Whether we get that is a bigger debate. But this line needs to hold right now. This is kind of where we're looking for. Again, you can see on the hourly, we broke down beneath it. And again, just FYI, look at how key some of this support line is. And then Goblin Town, revert, this is literally the exact playbook of a dead cat bounce. Look, Goblin Town, dead cat bounce, Goblin Town. All right, it's kind of a pretty straightforward playbook you can see there. 55 to 60K. No, IJ, what the hell, bro? I mean, maybe, by the way. I don't think anything is out of the realms of possibility right now. Nothing at all is out of the realms of possibility. So, again, this is the line that we're looking to hold right now, looking weak on the hourly candles. And the other thing you need to reference here, by the way, is that this is all playing out. Now, the thing to note here, if you were looking for any kind of solace, any shred of positivity in this market, you're like, 2-Bit, I've come here because I just want to feel a bit better about my life. I didn't sell anything. I'm absolutely in Goblin Town, right? Well, look at this. The stock market gave up every single shred of gains of 2026 so far. From MicroStrategy down 7%. By the way, they bought $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin today. 2.5. What? Coinbase down. Tesla, you can see there. Look, Oracle that we've been looking at, 179. Goblin Town. Meta, Goblin Town. You've also got Broadcom, Goblin Town. All right. Japanese yen, Goblin Town. All right, pretty good. Nvidia, Goblin Town. So as you can see, there's a definite theme running through this entire live stream right now, which essentially is Goblin Town. All right, that's kind of where we are right now. And here's my view. You could either try your hardest to not end up in Goblin Town and you basically end up by yourself, or you embrace it and you go for lunch with the goblins in Goblin Town. And hopefully, when the goblins are happy for us to come back out of Goblin Town, they let us come out of Goblin Town and we go back up to the bull market going, no goes on. All right, that's what we can hope for right now. That's what we can hope for right now. But this is actually important to reference here, by the way. The only cryptocurrency I know right now that's on the uptrend is sand. So shout out to Craig. Who's foolish now, Craig? Enjoy that moment. Let everybody know you absolutely nailed it, bro. Get it, Craig. I love it. Okay, so what is also worth noting here, by the way, is gold and silver are freaking skyrocketing. Now, understand what that actually means. Yes, gold and silver are moving up. Everyone's like, oh my God, I'm bullish. I'm so into gold and silver. All people doing are hedging against risk. And risk can be anything right now. And a lot of, Scott Besson and many people will be like, hey, it's definitely about Goblin Town. Come on. Goblin Town on the mind. It's definitely not about Greenland. It's definitely not about Trump threatening to use the military to take it over. It's definitely not about the Canadian PM starting to amass troops. It's definitely not about Germany bussing in or Denmark bussing in troops into Greenland. It's not about that. It's not about the general threat of just an all-out war over Greenland between the US and the EU. Oh, no. It's definitely about the Japanese bond market, all right? 100% Japanese bond market. I hope I'm wrong, however. I feel that we are waiting another 3 years. Maybe, Mouse. I don't know if it's going to be 3 years or not. I mean, I don't know what to think now. The only thing that I think is worth noting is that you can forget whatever you know about bull markets and whatever you know about cryptocurrency bull markets because it means nothing right now. Nothing at all. All right, which is kind of wild. So there you go in terms of Bitcoin. Now, what's interesting a little bit is, and I don't like this saying, by the way, but if in doubt, zoom out. Yes, we've capitulated down to the 100-day EMA here on the weekly candles, which generally has acted as a significant support line. When we do lose the 100 EMA, that is pure, unadulterated max Goblin Town. You can see here that historically on the back of the 2021 bull market, once we came down and broke the 100-day EMA, everything absolutely went to zero. All right. So again, there's a couple of things that you could argue at a broader macro scale that says, well, look, we probably need to see a couple of key things furthermore happen. Again, a close at like 89.5, 90,000 probably isn't the worst thing. Canton Network, yeah, I mean, it's been flying. I mean, that was a classic. Absolutely skyrocket. I don't know if it still is. Yeah, 6%. It was actually at one point about 19%. It was flying. XMR, though, that could be a trade looking out for it. But yeah, so again, macro side of things here. The 100-day EMA, you can see this pink line, this sort of darkish blue line here running across. This is the 100-day EMA, right? And you can see exactly how this is kind of playing out. Again, this is the pump up to the 2021 bull market cycle. We got the dip all the way past the 50. We broke down to there, coming down here to around 29,000 off the top. So what was that in terms of a correction? About 54%. Still, though, holding above this 100-day EMA. We then got a further push back to the upside to break a new all-time high again at around 71,000. It wasn't then until we came down. And look, it's a very similar kind of pattern. And again, you got to remember, this isn't necessarily about that, you know, history's going to repeat itself and everything's going to be fine. Sometimes SP 500 undone. Yeah, it's wild. The whole stock market, Jose, is absolutely nuked. Crow did well, did it? Is Crow another one that's moved today? Has it, Crow? It's down 3%. It's not the worst, I guess. But back to 9 cents, so it's pretty wild. So again, when we kind of wick back up to the all-time high, what we do then is we come back down, we retest this zone with a little relief rally above the 20 and the 50, and then boom, off we go right the way down to Goblin Town. All right, so this is kind of interesting. When you then bring it forth, bear in mind there was a big macro event, invasion of Russia, FTX collapse. Well, you might as well put on here that Greenland may be the next big thing that could be on the market. So again, you can see here that this could be the first come down to retest the 100-day EMA. We could still definitely get a bounce, by the way. This is definitely something on the cards. Remember, we've got loads of macro data that could come in. Like I said yesterday, this could be the Donald Trump 3.0 playbook in which we are trying to drive it. What did the news tell sleep? Trump's basically threatening to invade Greenland, and he's probably pretty dead serious on it, right? Probably dead serious on it. And then we just started. We're only 10 minutes in the stream. So we could definitely get another relief rally, by the way. That wouldn't be a surprise. We could definitely get a double top in. You could argue this being the top then that came in at 125,000. This being the first retest here of the 100-day EMA. We actually have shown some solid support. We bounced off it after 4 touch points, and then we rallied back up. What are we looking for then? And bear in mind, you've got to go now broader macro than micro, okay? This is important because you could be tied up in the daily, and sometimes when it's this bad and when there's this many challenges, you have to kind of take a deep breath and say, right, did I wake up this morning? Yes. Am I all still, correct and present? Yes. All right, cool. Well, then I'm halfway there in terms of having a good day. 30th to smash the likes. 2-bit Mad Love, what's going on, bud? XRP, what's going on? Welcome to you. Swamp's here as well. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Liberty says, are we in Goblin Town? Yes. Yesterday and today. I mean, we're definitely further into Goblin Town. Yesterday, we were kind of looking at maybe going to Goblin Town. We were like, don't know if I want to go there. I've heard it's a bit weird. Today, we literally booked a hotel, and we're staying there tonight in Goblin Town. So yeah, that's where we are right now. It's bad news. I've broken out of the Matrix, and I'm lonely. Hey, welcome to the stream. If there's a case, I'm Ahmed Robert. It's all, buddy. What's going on, Tomato Pete? Who's interested in the Rust 2000? What kind of flat? Well, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Shows people could be more interested in a risk on versus risk off. So, there's absolutely a world in which we can get this relief rally coming back in. What are we looking for? We're going to be looking for a big green candle over the course of next week. Now, again, as insane as this candle dip looks down, this could reverse, right? Think about it. If you look here on the bottom where we came down on the 17th of November, we actually then got a 7.5% move back to the upside on the back of that move. Well, where would a 7.5% move take us right now? 7.5 actually gets us to nearly retesting the upper ranges of around 96,500. So we could easily see this move back to the upside. Again, what do we need to say? Some sort of deal between the EU and the US where they aren't just basically like kids in a playground threatening to take each other's sweets, all right? Because that's kind of where we are right now. You got the EU going, oh, well, we're going to be dumping loads of US treasuries. You got Scott Bessent going, well, crack on then and see how bad it works out for you. And then the EU go, well, let's kind of talk about it a little bit more. And Scott Bessent's like, no, sell your treasuries, bro. Sell them. Sell my fucking treasuries. Anyway. You have a point. So this could actually play out, maybe. I think it's highly unlikely at the minute, and the sentiment is completely nuked in the market, and I think that's worth. But the positive for the first time ever is the stock market is as nuked as the crypto market. So in theory, remember, doesn't matter what Trump does, it doesn't matter what his position here is, he has to deliver the midterms. It's as simple as that. Now, he's got a long time between now and the midterms, agreed. However, he has got an important bit. This is an incredibly unpopular move. And again, that's assuming that, by the way, it isn't the Japanese banks that are killing us, all right? That it's not, Bank of Japan that's absolutely crashing the markets. But he has to deliver midterm. So however this plays out, whatever happens, he's got to run this market back up. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ, wiping out their entire gains from 2026 is not good. He hasn't talked a single bit about silver, a single bit about gold. No one freaking cares in the Trump administration about metals at the minute, right? Don't give a monkeys. But they care about the S&P 500. He said again, reiterated in the press conference, there is new record highs being set on the S&P 500, all right? And the NASDAQ. So this is clearly where we get. But this could play out. Into an upside move. Well, I must absolutely stress the importance here. I am not rubbing my crystal ball and telling us that's what's going to happen. It is a bad day in the markets. It is a painful day in the markets. And it's showing no signs of getting better right now. That doesn't mean tomorrow it might not feel a bit better. Does that make sense? And actually, weirdly, I thought we were going to get the reversal last night. I was watching the market opens thinking, do you know what? Maybe we're in a place where we could actually get a little bit more movement back, but no. Proper, pure, and unadulterated Goblin Town, all right? Rest of the altcoin market, we could go through this, but you already know the drill, and you already know what it is. Matt Rutte gave me like, what? Don't know what that means. But I feel like your intentions in this live stream are not genuine. Gold 4759. Yeah, it's insane RPM. It is insane. So we could definitely go through some of these altcoins. It doesn't really matter. XRP back to 100-day EMA, still holding this support line. If you remember, we talked about this yesterday and we said, look, XRP may even come down and retest this line. Like, we've nailed some of this TA. Nailed it. Yeah, again. You can see there, if I did not mean to do that. If you extend this, by the way, you get a pretty interesting play here, but again, holding up this lower support range on there. XRP 189, maybe throwing itself out as a potential, but down 21% in the 3 months, down 40% in the last 6 months. So, it's worth noting that, it's pretty painful if you are in altcoins, as I think many of us will kind of know. You've also got Zebek giving up a lot of gains, over 10.5%. Aerodrome back to 47, which is pretty gnarly, really. Ondo Finance performing slightly more optimistic than the market. Jasmine down 7. Your Asta down to 58 cents. Pure 100%. Say it with me, everybody. Goblin Town. That is absolutely going down to 0. And there's no way I'd be buying Asta right now. No way on this earth. See where that puppy goes, but that is looking pretty painful. And then you get into kind of the rest of the market. Canton Network, we've been talking about this for a while. Perfect balance of the 50-day EMA there. I didn't trade this. I was really, really tempted to, in fairness. I saw that price at here. It actually whipped, I think, to like 10. It was a little bit lower. It was like 10.8 or something like that. But I didn't take the opportunity. XMR could be an interesting play. This is probably what I'm watching right now. This may give us a little bit for sure. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a Bitcoin maxi. Oh, remember, whatever Bitcoin does, the rest does. Nothing wrong with being a Bitcoin maxi all. You are welcome here, as everybody is in this live stream. And again, we appreciate you giving a view. It's important. Like, share your thoughts, put your opinions in. I'm bullish on everybody, by the way. So yeah, feel free to keep chatting away. Obviously, it does help out the channel the more you guys chat as well, which is great. Mega Whale Crypto is expecting the capitulation phase of the bear market about the first week of February. There we go. Jose, thank you so much. Again, if we talked about this yesterday, bear market could last 365 days. That takes us to the back end of this year. If you assume that we already are at least nearly 2 months into it, means we've got 9 months left, puts us at a potential new start to the rally in October. Depends what the price is going to be. All right. Also, bro, is there a way to please know what CC was up today by 7%? Canton, yeah, we just looked at it. Canton's flying. It's up 5.5 here off the 50-day EMA. So yeah, it actually rallied 13%, interestingly enough. So yeah. A big move, by the way, to the upside. So, but yeah, bounce off the 50-week, telling us this is a nice little support here on Canton. RSI, MACD still trending negative though, so just be a little bit more mindful of what that one looks like. XMR definitely could be a rebound trade on this one. Remember, this whole pump here on XMR was driven by scammers and hackers, all right? Because they just, they washed it through XMR and Monero. That was kind of why this massive spike happened. So, again, if you think about it, the 50-day EMA has definitely been one of the key supports. Maybe XMR wicks in at 48.3. Might be an interesting bounce again. And then memes, I mean, you don't even need to tell me. You don't need me to tell you where the meme coins sit. Pump giving up all its gains. Pepe looking like it's going to zero again. All going to Goblino Town. So, yeah, pretty much interesting where we are. We looked a little bit at the stock market, but look at this. NVIDIA, massive crash here on NVIDIA. The NASDAQ wiping out an absolute ton. The S&P 500 down 1%. But when you understand what that amount is, like understand what 1% negative in the NASDAQ actually looks like, or 1% negative in the S&P, and how much money that is, it is freaking insane. I mean, this is how bad it is today. It's $1.210 trillion. Like, what the flipping heck are you winding me up right now? $1.21 trillion. Oh my Christ, that is a bad news story, isn't it? So this is a broader market, scenario. This isn't just like, oh, Trump's pissed at Greenland. Oh, he's like, hey, you better sell me Greenland or it's all going to go to Goblin Town. We're all like, oh no, it's China. It's not China, it's Japan. The stock market getting absolutely slammed today as well, right? Absolutely slammed as well, which is never good. Hold on a minute. TikTok, sorry, my phone's been a bit weird. There you go. So, yeah, not good, all right? Not good. All gone in gold. Well, so many people have. So many people have, by the way. Dr. Crypto says, just want a major capitulation to wipe out a lot of the shit coins and get the blue chips going. I mean, that's true. And again, this is why I'm saying maybe there is a opportunity for a relief rally. Structurally, the markets actually look okay. The problem you've got is the old Trumperino tweet is essentially killed every shred of momentum in the markets. What's important here, though, is it's nuked. It is absolutely nuked the nuked the entire market, including the crypto market as well. How do you like comments? Typed out normally, in my opinion. Can we look at Dash pumped to $92 a couple of days ago? Yeah, okay, well, let's bring it up. I mean, Dash is another OG coin that no one's using, by the way. All that is hype driven. So again, some of these coins you got to be careful of. I mean, this is like proper OG stuff. $70 down 10%, and I would expect Dash to just drop. BTC prepares for a major upgrade. So there's, you got Dash on the 24-hour. Let's look at it on the weekly. I mean, it's got a nice spike, but I mean, I would expect it to give some of these gains up. Again, there's no real change to it. It's not even that well maintained. These are just absolutely done. Can't like comments, but you can like the stream. I mean, that's true. You can like the stream as well. Don't forget. You can like the stream as well. So, yeah, I mean, Dash definitely feels like it's a little bit more of a trade the moment, as it were, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Thanks for the follows. Appreciate it, everybody on TikTok. Don't forget, tap the screen, lock in a couple of likes. I appreciate you guys. 100% as we're grinding away here. 792 CoinEx says silver dollars are only real dollars. Interesting. Do you see the US Mint actually put the price up? So, yeah, anyway, back to BTC. Like we said, market structure actually is holding up pretty well. What you need to see, though, is we need to see a bounce, and we need to see it off this line. We're pretty much there right now. You want to see tomorrow print green. That is just facts. If we see another red candle, I mean, a wick down isn't the end of the world, by the way. A wick down would not be the end of the world. That's probably super low end if you were thinking, okay, we may go lower yet, but this is bad news. If we head down here, anything below this white line, I think, is bad news. And that would probably tell us that maybe this was a relief rally. It feels a little bit shallow on a relief rally, but hey, like we said, market structure still holding up pretty nicely. So again, we'll see where we kind of walk through and certainly where we get to. What's going on, Fairground? But yeah, Silver's action money. Fiat are paper coupons. It's not certified. Paper backed by silver and gold is not real money. There you go. There you go. I don't own any silver, actually. Maybe I should own some. I just went, I think crypto's going to the moon. That's a great, I'm just going to hold crypto. Yeah. Bullish. All right. Good news. Well done. Okay, right. Let's get into a little bit of the narrative. No surprise, by the way, the Supreme Court delays the ruling on Trump tariffs. Of course there is. Holy crap. Can you imagine if the Supreme Court come out today and went, yeah, we actually think the Trump tariffs are illegal. Oh, my God. It would have been over today, wouldn't it? I'd have been live streaming you guys going, we should have sold in October. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Paperback right here. But yeah, so the Supreme Court delayed its ruling on Trump tariffs again today, making it the third straight postponement. The ongoing wait is keeping markets jittery, especially with fresh tariff threats floating around. So it could be the Band-Aid solution, couldn't it? It could. Yeah, I know, Fairground. Tell me about it. It could be the Band-Aid solution. Rip the Band-Aid off. Get off and see where we end up. How bad can it be? That's the problem. The tariff revenues currently account for $30 billion a month. Even if you said, well, Trump's been in office for 12 months. Let's say it came in. It's, what, $360 billion? We just wiped that out of the stock market in one freaking day. All right? So that's why when I was saying yesterday, it feels a little bit out there. It feels like there's another layer to this that we maybe don't know. You know, crash markets, make everyone feel like we're going to zero, make everything feel like it's way more expensive. And then all of a sudden, slam Venezuela oil into the US market, grab all the Greenland and start mining rare mineral earth. Remember, the 8th richest country on the earth for rare minerals are Greenland. But it's not about rare earth, it's about security. Of course it is, DJT. Maybe that's the play. Who knows at this moment in time? I think, like we said, and have been saying now for a while, it is worth just sitting on the fence. If you are looking to enter the markets, maybe take an opportunity to trade. Don't forget Bitunix, the place to do it, by the way. Exchange partner of choice. Check out the link in the description. Worth it. Again, 50% rebate bonuses, trade bonuses, volume bonuses, all sorts of crazy stuff. Check them out. But if you are looking, this could be an opportunity, but like I said, it's super risk on right now if you go into it. I go in BTC at 89,300. Tight stop loss at 89,000. Type of these to a green day from the Asian markets. Well, we'll take a look at the pre-markets a little bit later on right now. Let's get into a few of the bits and then we'll take a look at what's going on with them. But I'll give you a quick sneak peek, all right? A quick sneak peek. If you look at my face, I will tell you what the Asian markets look like they're going to do in the morning. It looks... Oh, shit. It's bad. Yeah. Doesn't look great. All right, we'll take a look at them in a minute. Tariffs have taken a toll on markets the whole cycle, especially crypto. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like we said yesterday, it isn't necessarily the tariffs themselves. It's the uncertainty of what might happen. That's what people don't like. That's what the crypto market doesn't like. It's like, what is actually going to happen? We're freaking out here. I don't like it. But like we said, maybe. Trade sectors are sensitive and still play it cautious. Importers hedging costs means less appetite for stocks and crypto in the short term. People are like, Jesus, I need to sit on cash right now. That's not a top stop loss in case it's bad day. Yeah, 100%. The best way to do it. I mean, I am notting any trades right now, but I'm certainly looking at a potential couple of them on that bounce. Like I said, the Monero trade I think could be pretty interesting. Maybe even an XRP trade with what's been built on that could start to put us a potential. Maybe we look at that tomorrow, depending on what's the markets do. Maybe we'll look at that. If you are in our premium Discord, obviously I will put that in there. If you're not, then grab a channel membership. Dead easy. Head to the bottom of the screen, click join. It's about $6 a month. We put our trades in. Again, we're sensible with our trades. I think we're at like 100% so far. We have lost some in the past, but yeah, I mean, XRP could be an interesting trade if it bounced off this low range, 186, push back up. Zebek might be another one as well off the 20-day EMA. Maybe it comes down a little bit further. 2935, 50-day EMA. Could be a retest if markets come with us. We'll see. Hello, fellow YouTube channel. I was live earlier. The Clarity Act, not good news. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, Paul. I did a full video breaking that down, actually, the other day. It's pretty interesting. I mean, Brian, whatchamacallit, has been out in Coinbase, Brian, hasn't he? Mark Rutte is trying to solve the problem with Trump. Okay, cool. I don't know who that is, but yeah, it's fine. I'm not worried about a thing. Let's get it there. I mean, look, long term, fine. You know, long term, super bullish. But yeah, we'll see. Is there going to be more tariffs? I mean, he threatened 200% on France, I think, which again totally plays into the narrative that it's just like one of those things. I said Brian Armstrong, where Trump is literally strong arming people for Greenland. But anyway, pretty wild. Pretty wild. So that's what we need to worry about. All right, that's what we need to worry about. No, it's not. It's not Trump, everybody. It's the Japanese government bond market. Oh no, Japan has come back to bite us in the ass once again. Now, what is going on with Japan? It's bad news, all right? Well, it depends, actually. If you're Japanese, it's great news. If you're the global market, it's bad news. But I still don't think it's this. I mean, I think it's an element of it, and I think it's come at the same time, and maybe this is the black swan that everyone's been calling about, and from now on, we're going to the moon. Who knows? But the Japanese 30-year government bond spiked 30 fucking basis points in a session. Like, what? 3.9, the highest in history. Everyone went, oh my God, I'm buying Japanese bonds. Like everyone... People just woke up this morning and went, Greenland. I need to buy some Japanese bonds. Boom, 30-year, 20 million. Let me get some. The 40-year surged 28 basis points to 4.22, the highest ever. Like, this is freaking insane. Now, if you've looked at any of the data, by the way, the Sanai Takachini is basically completely redoing government, going to a snap election, totally rewriting the manifesto of the Japanese government, like, stimulus checks, stimulus is everywhere. Like, we're trying to push the Japanese market as much as they possibly can, which is pretty insane. What you're seeing is it's not even an unwinding of the carry trade, because it's not. It's absolute nervousness that these bonds are going to go crazy, which, you know, is kind of wild to think about. And something we've been on it. This is why you're seeing gold and silver skyrocket at the same time. So they're getting a double boost, which is why they are going kind of crazy. Sorry, my slipper's fallen off my foot and I can't get back on. That's why they are ultimately going absolutely freaking wild, because they are a hedge against uncertainty. And yeah, the fact is that this comes as investors worry that the tax cut promise ahead of the February elections means the government will bring in less money. Like, I mean, talk about insane. And they're going to take more debt. Like the Japanese, like you got DJTs like, oh, I'm taking over Greenland. How much is it? Well, it's going to be about $12 trillion. Yeah, it's fine. Put it on the credit card. 12 trillion, no dramas. The Japanese are like, can we afford like another $1 billion? Like, absolutely fucking not. So you're going to crash the market. Buy bonds, buy yields. It's going to be great. The problem here is, though, that this might get worse, right? This might literally get worse. This is definitely something you need to keep absolute focus on. Because if Japanese bonds go up, who gives a flying fuck about Greenland, because we're going to zero? Like, it's absolutely insane if you think about it. So, again, this is really important, by the way. And it's all going to come to a head in February as well. The Japanese government bonds are surging to multi-decade highs, which is insane, by the way. 30-year Japanese government bond reaching 3.8. Just to give you some context of what that looks like. If you look at the US bonds, for example, look at the US 30-year. It's 4.9%. 4.9% in a relatively strong economy that you're paying like, you know, reasonable amounts. Well, you go get a Japanese 30-year at 3.88. It's like, why am I going to go and invest in US stocks? And this, combined with the fact that you've got the Danish pension funds are like, yeah, we're dumping US stocks. Europe, you know, quote unquote, is now going to start dumping US stocks. That's why, like, you've got, you know, they're playing chicken right now. It's insane to think about. They're definitely playing chicken. But ultimately, that's what you're seeing. So this snap election that's going to come in, this consumption of tax halt, which, again, they're worried about, oh, my God, like 230% debt to GDP ratio is the highest among major economies. Like, oh, my God. And this is obviously creating real nervousness. Just to give you some context, by the way, as well, Bitcoin went from $65,000 to $49,000 following the Bank of Japan's July 24 rate hike. That was the $1.14 billion unwind in liquidations on that Japanese carry trade. So this is a sensitive market when it's touched to these. $350 billion in transparent positions and potentially, are you ready for this? $20 trillion, including derivatives, according to market research. Oh my flipping heck. 20 trillion. Wow. Could be pretty crazy. Could be pretty crazy. And then obviously in terms of what that does to the actual overall market, well, it completely fucks everything. So worth noting, by the way. All right. Worth very much noting as how this plays out. So how do we fix this? How do we fix it, right? Well, We fix it by not imposing more tariffs on everybody. So I know that Trump was threatening to do some stuff with Japan. No. That's bad news. Also, we need to pump manufacturing. That's why the ISM data is going to be critical. That's why I talked about the first week of February, going to be insane. But this is why it's going to be such an important bit. Because if Japan rolls over, similar to the stock market, similar to the crypto market, you better believe where we are staying for the next couple of years. And it starts with Goblin and ends in town, all right? So think about that. Think about that. We fix it with a nice cup of tea. That's true. I mean, 100%, right? 100%. Which will be good news as well. The other way that they can kind of try and limit it is you try and restrict yields. So if you've got lower yields, it means people will take less debt, which means people are going to buy less, which means they don't have to print more money. You know, that's kind of when you want to get it. And as much as, you know, that could ease things, you do have a risk there that it will strengthen the Japanese yen, which then unwinds the markets. You then see equity volatility, which means you get these crazy spikes going in. And yeah, that's not good. And then essentially what happens is you dump Japan into a giant recession, which is definitely not good as well, by the way. And that debt to GDP is really, really important. Remember, they've basically not been able to make any of their money work for fucking 30 years, which is kind of wild if you think about it. So yeah, this is why this snap election is going to come in. A lot will hedge on this. A lot will hedge on it, I think, at this element, okay? At this element. And, you know, well, we'll see. If Japan just keep buying and buying and buying and buying and buying their own bonds and buying their own treasuries and literally self-fulfilling a complete doom loop, then it all goes to zero. Why? Pension funds can't make any money. Hedge funds don't make any money. Anything in Japan that is investing in yields based on Japanese bonds gets nothing. So they have to go abroad. They invest in American bonds, booms the American economy, leaves Japan where it is. So it's a pretty important bit. I still think loads of it's down to fucking Greenland, though, just so we're dead clear on this. I still think loads of it's down to Greenland, but yeah, important to the different. What's worth noting, what is happening with the Japanese yen, what is happening in the bond market, how is gold and silver? While gold and silver is going up and people are like, oh, this is great, gold and silver is going to the freaking moon, then you know people are risk off and they are like, yeah, it's bad news and we're all going to friggin' zero. So worth just being close to this, all right, in my opinion. This will be a very much moving feast, and this will be very much volatility over the course of at least the next week, which we'll see. The big shot Michael Burry warns a major market downturn is ahead. We're going lower. Oh no. We need to stand for freedom of speech. My last comment was blocked by the needs. That needs to stop. What was? I can't see your last comment. The last comment was blocked. What did it say? Normally it comes up. I can't see it. Hold on a minute. Let me go to live chat. What did it say? There's literally hardly any restrictions on this. There's obviously like swear words and weird stuff like that, but I can't see your last message, which means I don't, unless it had like a contract addressing or something. Don't know, but I can't see it. All right. But this is going to be very important to understand and very, very important to think about as these move down. Like I said, this is why people are completely freaking out. All right. Exactly. It didn't pop up on my TV. Yeah, but normally I can see obviously every single chat that's put in here and I can't see anything that's on there. Like normally it comes up and it'll say view deleted post or it holds it for review and I can't see it. So try it again. Put an extra space in. Gold and silver is a hedge against inflation and fiat inflation is the theft of all your wealth. I mean, that's also true as well. That's true. It's a comment about inflation. Not that one, yeah? Not the gold and silver bit. Timely though, look at this. Perfectly, seamlessly moves into gold and silver. Silver and gold surges, Bitcoin faces challenges, obviously. And we can see that here where futures are still looking absolutely insane. Silver futures going wild. You also got the actual price of silver going to the freaking moon. Also, you got gold doing exactly the same as well. So pretty interesting. Now, what's worth noting, by the way, someone mentioned this earlier, Fat Sonic, I think it was you. The Russell is actually still up, and Russell is up 0.02% today as well, which is good. In my opinion. I wish I'd stuck to my plan of swapping my crypto for gold and silver, holding for 3 years and then convert back. Mouse, I wish I'd stuck to my plan when I called the bull market cycle top in October. I should have sold. I was 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out. Do you notice all those people as well that were calling me out as being an absolute noob and then it was all going to go to the moon and I was wrong? Funny how none of them are here, isn't it? FYI. Anyway, moving on. So the Russell is pretty interesting. This could signal that actually risk on appetite is good. Remember, geopolitical events tend to be a short-term dip. All right, they tend to be short-term dips. Okay, worth noting that. Now, again, short-term dips can turn into long-term bear markets, and Bitcoin is really struggling right now. As you can see there, Russia was definitely a short-ish dip initially, then we rallied, and then Goblin Town, FTX collapse. Obviously, we all know what happened there. So yeah, wasn't me. I feel like I mentioned that, but it's nice to see at least. Okay, I can't remember who it was now. Can't remember. Crackerjack, what's going on? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. We are Muppets. Mouse, I know. Tell me about it. It's fine though. It's fine. As long as you're not all in like Pepe's rear end coin, then we're probably fine. Ish. So yeah, gold and silver is rallying. Again, this is important to understand where this sits, but the nervousness sits obviously with the whole Greenland scenario and everything else that's going in. And, financial advisors are genuinely uncertain about the events and reasons driving this surge. Again, if you are in gold and silver, be mindful. This will, mark my words, people might think I'm crazy. This will roll over. All right. It will absolutely roll over. Then we get into a place where we're like, okay, well, if it rolls over, what does it look like? And just to give you a couple of ideas as to some of the things to look at, you have got the RSI. Oh, I can get rid of this one actually. So you've got an RSI MACD trending here at the bottom of that one. Let's get rid of that one. So again, you can see there, look, that you've got the RSI MACD is way up. This tells us this is hugely overbought right now. Hugely overbought. So again, this will roll over. The debate is when. That's going to be the big question. What do you think of 500% tariffs on nations that purchase Russian oil? I think it's insane, and I don't know how he gets that in, if I'm dead honest. And I don't think he does. I think it's just, at the minute, it's a lot. I refer to this as someone that's, can't have some sweets. That's kind of what it feels like a little bit with Trump. Can't see your screens? Yeah, I know. I need to fix that. I do need to fix it. I was looking last night of how to fix it, and I need a stream key. I need a stream key in order to put it into OBS, and then you guys will be able to see exactly what I'm looking at. I will literally fix it in 2 weeks. I mean, I could do this. I can do that so you can see the screen, but obviously then you just can't see me. I mean, is that a big deal? I don't know if it's a big deal or not. Do you guys like seeing my face? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Reverse BTC call 30. Let's hope so. I'll sell some silver at 300. Get it, Crackerjack. Difference in time Europe. I'm not standing for Trump's bill in town. Yeah, I mean, maybe Goblin Town and the Shadow Realm are the same place. They really are. They really are. Sid, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Yeah, Goblin Town and the Shadow Realm. Don't go to the Shadow Realm. That's not what it's about. But yeah, this will definitely roll over, by the way. RSI is definitely heading up. Remember, look at this. The last time RSI peaked at a whopping 162, which is freaking insane, then it rolled over and we saw this massive capitulation. Where are we getting to now? We're about 106. So we're not quite there yet. And again, you can see here, look, last time we got to about 100. The RSI rolled over and we saw a pull down in commodities. So we can definitely see that. Wherever there is macro uncertainty, though, we're not going to see it. All right, let's just call a spade and understand how bad it is. I don't know why I've got this pen, by the way, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Selma says the bond turmoil should be warning sign to heavily indebted countries, even the US. 100%. The difference you've got, though, in the US a little bit is you've obviously got a huge consumer market, whereas Japan hasn't. That's the difference. They are not a big consumer. They're a big exporter, I believe, but not a big importer, I think. Import is what you want for consumer markets, essentially. But like I said, yeah, silver is probably exactly the same as well. Look at silver's RSI. I mean, that's fucking crazy. I mean, that's just absolutely insane that, gold, silver, they are so overpriced right now. It's absolutely wild. But yeah, I mean, look, if you're in them, congrats. Enjoy it. Take the money because you guys deserve it. That's my opinion. But yeah, worth noting here. Definitely worth noting. Maybe we just keep the screen up and then I do a little bit of a chatty thing at the end. We'll see. We'll see how many people come on there and can get involved with this. All right. So yeah, definitely worthwhile noting here on the Japanese market for sure. You don't need that. Now, I thought this was interesting. Wintermute, of all people. Now, if you've been part of the channel for a while, you know exactly who Wintermute are. Wintermute are a large liquidity provider, and they said the familiar 4-year boom and bust pattern in cryptocurrency may have ended, according to trading firm Wintermute. In recent analysis, the firm argued the market performance is now dictated by institutional capital flows rather than historical narratives. Now, I want to show you guys something that I found earlier on that I was looking at, which I thought was pretty interesting. And this isn't going to be the most accurate data in the world, right? It's not the most accurate data, but it is interesting when you look at it. And I thought it was worth noting to try and understand, have we seen, let's say, for example, big wallets leaving the market? So they go, I'm out. I'm sick of this market. I hate everything. I hate everyone in it. I'm just going to dump everything. Yeah, see, people are leaving TikTok. I don't think people just want to sit and look at the screen. Maybe charts. I'll put charts up when you guys need to see that. Till then, you just get to talk to me. But what I want to show you guys is, where is it? Here. All right. Oh, no, it's not this. It's not this. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. There we are. Got it. Got it. Okay, so I want to show you this. This is essentially whale orders, all right, people? So these are where you're seeing large amounts of capital either being bought or sold, all right? So you can see that there, look. So this kind of takes us through the charts right now. We're on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. And what you can see is got big green circles, big red circles. Greens buys, reds sells, okay? And what's interesting right now, especially when you look at this, is there isn't a lot in terms of actually structural buys. You've got a little bit within this. So you've got, again, some kind of key analysis that comes in of this kind of small area. So you can see there, look. For example, this was a buy order that came in at around 92,500, which was worth for $1 million worth of Bitcoin, all right? But when we've seen massive market crashes before, we've seen way bigger buy orders, way bigger sell orders than we've seen in this. And actually, this isn't the case right now. Yeah, split screen, you have to do it on the computer. So I need to do it on the computer, but I need a stream key to do it with OBS. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Damien, thank you, mate, for the little tomato guy. Again, we are actually seeing just consistent selling. Nothing big. No big amounts of, capital just exiting the markets. It's all very much methodical. It's very much deliberate. And it's consistent. Sometimes you get these kind of enormous dumps, right? Where you just get someone just, full clips, $3 billion worth of BTC or whatever it is. Everyone freaks out. Markets go, proper full-on panic mode. We're not seeing that. We're just seeing this consistent selling. I mean, look at this. There was a sell order here that came in on this one for about 1.59 billion, 1.52 billion. Again, a couple of other little sells here, even on these big candles. So what does this tell us? Well, this tells us that you've got leverage unwinding. It tells us that you've got retail, what little there is of it, selling as well. These aren't massive sell-offs in the market. And like I said, you can go back where we've seen bigger pushes down the market, back here, and you see this sort of, big selling as this market's dipping, massive sell, coming in on there, $2.5 million. Just not really seeing that, which is interesting. Not really seeing it. Again, you can see there just how stuff's playing through over the course of the last 16 hours. And then even some of the, bigger selling pressure that's coming in. So we're just sort of not seeing this kind of craziness with some of these enormous big selling pressure, which I thought was interesting, by the way. And definitely probably aligns a little bit to why it's just been a consistent selling off rather than I know today's a big spike down, but like just a full clipper where it just unwinds loads of leverage and everyone totally panics and it all goes to the moon. Yeah, this is how institutions get asset out of retail's hands. Simple patience game. That's true, UPS. You're probably true in fairness with that. That is the game, isn't it? That is the game. And thank you for playing, it feels like it. Anyone trading BTC doesn't understand anyway. I mean, that's also true as well. No sleep till Goblin Town. Silver rate's out of stock. Yeah, it's all stuck in the US, Mouse. That's the problem. High yields and Japanese bonds would push US borrowing rates up by discouraging investors from buying US bonds. That's true. That's true. And if they can get, Japanese bonds, essentially where it works, people go and get money from Japan and invest in the US stock market. That's kind of where it all unwinds from. But if Japanese bonds are getting there, yeah, you'll probably get people investing in the Japanese market versus the US market. Why worry about conversion to US if you don't need to? Yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. US Treasury Scott Besant comments on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in Davos. We're not going to sell our Bitcoin. Good news. Thanks for that, Scott. He said this. Best regulatory regime for digital assets. And more importantly, it says, recalling that a president decree signed by Trump mandated that the US government holds Bitcoin as a strategic asset. Besant also mentioned that expanding reserves through budget-neutral methods is under consideration. It's the stable playbook, all right? Don't sell your Bitcoin. Why? Because we want to sell it before you. It kind of feels a little bit like that, doesn't it? But I guess the point here would be that they are not selling their Bitcoin, all right? And they're hopefully going to do something which, if you allow yourself an element of balance within these markets, you could say, well, if the US comes out and says, oh, maybe Trump comes out on Friday and goes, today with the tariff revenues and the acquisition of Greenland, I agreed to buy $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. Boom, 100K of a weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could always happen. Once we're low enough and retail wants it, good luck getting it. You'll be priced out. I mean, UPS, that's very, very true. Very true. Oh, look at that. Crypto Wendio joined. Good. Right. This is not what I was going to show you guys. I was going to show you guys something else. Okay. This is actually what I was hoping to look for. There we go. Perfect. Joe, what do you say? Am I shadowban chat? No, I can see you, bud. I can only see that. That's the first chat you put in there. That's the first one you put in there, bro. It just says, am I shadowban chat? 2-bit, been lurking in the background, ready to slay some goblins. Thanks, 37. I appreciate it, man. Here from Awesome Austins. What's going on? K Bowers in the building. Welcome in, K Bowers. Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. If you've been in Austin, I did jump into Austin stream for a little bit. That's crushing it right now. But yeah, Joe Buddle and Joe Bros in the house. What's going on, everybody? Thanks, Vir. 2-bit, just ignoring me then. No, I honestly can't see any of the chats you put in. So Alvin jump in a little bit earlier. What's going on, Alvin? Good to see you, pal. I'll keep an eye out for it. I'll keep an eye out for you. Hopefully we get some good news, eh? But yeah, anyway, Scott Besson going bullish. And I mean, the thing where he talks about the EU markets is wild. Have you seen that clip? Seen it? I think they ask him a question. They're like, do you think that the EU or the UK has any financial leverage against the US that you're worried about? And he literally is just like, nope. Oh, sugar. No. What do you mean? No, bro. Here it is. Look, I'll play you guys it. Oh, no, it's this one. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Right. It's going to be short and sweet. All right. But it is hilarious. So let me just turn the volume up so you guys can hear it. All righty. Here you go. Right. Listen to this, everybody. It's brilliant.
Just to follow into that, so you do not believe that the EU or the UK have any retaliatory financial instruments or measures in their bag that the United States should be worried about?
No.
Just to follow into that, so you do...
Next question, please. No. All right. Cool. Cool, Scotty B. There you go. I mean, that's conviction right there. Maybe he knows something we don't. I don't know, but it's pretty solid conviction, isn't it? Are you worried? No. No. All right. Pretty interesting, if you ask me. Pretty interesting. All right. All right. Sailor buying over 22,000 Bitcoin today. Think about this. It's $2.13 billion. Like, oh my God. Taylor is absolutely max bullish right now. He is buying more Bitcoin than you've ever seen in your entire life. Two of the biggest buys his company have ever done, he's done over the last 2 weeks, where we've had absolute max uncertainty in the market. Pretty wild, if you ask me. Pretty wild. Let's go from Australia. Eternal XRP, what's going on? Welcome in. Zebek was in Davos, really? Nice. Look into Robot ETF, and there's 2 Robo and bots. All right, got you, Joe. We'll take a look at it. K-Bauer says, just started my second year of crypto, and I got to say, not a fan today, but I guess this is when the money is made. Hold and add, not pack up and leave. That's absolutely true, K-Bowers. So many people, by the way, look at the short term. And by the way, it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It is hard. It is hard. But my logic has always stood the same. As long as you learn, even if you lose money, it's not the end of the world. Try not to lose loads of money, but it's definitely not the end of the world. Wait, is crypto bullish or bearish? I just got here. Right now, max bearish. Max bearish. Short term, max bearish. Long term, kind of neutral to bullish, I would argue. But short term, very, very, very bearish right now because you're losing loads of key support areas. You're about to get a bearish crossover here on the EMAs. MACD and RSI are about to do a bearish crossover as well. Like, we are literally on our way down. We've gone onto booking.com and we've booked a nice little 2-bedroom flat in Goblin Town, and we are on our way there. The only thing that can save us right now would be Little Red Riding Hood coming out and saying, hey, I just bought $60 billion worth of Bitcoin. You'd be like, oh my God, Little Red Riding Hood's pretty cool. How many Bitcoins are left? He's buying them every day. Well, every week. I mean, there's about 5% of the entire supply left, I believe. Buying blood in alts is a gamble. Buying blood in Bitcoin is not, because alts need Bitcoin to go. Yeah, that's true. Thoughts on CFG? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know. What's going on, Rob? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Damn. Yeah, short. I mean, you can't be short-term bullish on this. Not at all. Now, that could change quite quickly. If we're dead honest, that could rapidly change. Why? Like we said right at the very start of the stream, higher high, higher low, higher high. Essentially, higher low means we could start to bring back to the upside, which is putting the higher high again up around this $100,000 mark, right? That's absolutely a bullish case scenario. If we come back down, then you're retesting 86,000. You're about 20K off where I think the market bottoms for the bear market. So, I think, again, another weekly close. If you think about where the weekly close would be, and we talked about this last Sunday, and we said, hey, we do not want to see a weekly close below around 89,500. That's exactly, 95,500. That's exactly what we got. We got that massive dump on Trump news. Again, though, think about it. Geopolitical can sometimes be a short-term dip in the market. That's what I was saying the other day. It feels a little bit different. Watcher Guru's just come up and it says, history's been made. Jim Cramer actually got it right. Wild. The one time you don't want Jim Cramer to get it right, he did. I booked a holiday to the Lonely Mountain. There you go. The Shadow Realm. Don't go to the Shadow Realm. In Goblin Town. Anyway. Well, time to buy the dips. Look, I'm sure a lot of people are buying the dip, albeit it definitely isn't helping push the price up. So I think, sometimes you don't want to be too crazy when you get into this because you want to kind of wait and see if the market settles down. At the minute, you're still getting some selling. Like, people are max nervous right now. Maybe, just look at this. I've literally just opened the BTC order book. These are on futures contracts. Look at this. Like, people are dumping the markets, liquidating freaking everything right now. So, maybe one of those where you're like, all right, let's see what happens, and then I'll make a decision on the back of it. But yeah, certainly on the weekly here, we're looking for a slightly more beneficial close than we've been. But, you can't deny Bitcoin looks very, very, very unfavorable right now. Very, very unfavorable right now. Where is, so we're kind of trying to get this right. Try and get this right, bro. Try and get this right. We'll keep this on the charts just so we can keep an eye on it. About there. All right. That's where we sit right now with BTC. Future, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. By the way, if you're brand new to the stream, don't forget, jump into our free Discord. CME gap at 88K-ish. Is it? Let's have a look at that. Jump in the free Discord, by the way. Link in the description. Also in my bio on TikTok. It's totally free to get involved in there. If you are interested in a little bit more, you can grab a channel membership. That gets you access. Welcome in to all the new members that joined yesterday. Shout out to you guys. It is a great community of people in there. Like I said, we definitely want to be a little bit more chatty, but lots of discussions going on there, which is kind of nice. Also, if you want to get access to that premium Discord, just in my opinion, by the way, is highly worth it. Here it is. Just gives you an idea of what's going on. We've got 2 bots in there that can support your trading if you are interested, by the way. For example, you could do TA on, let's say we want to do TA on ETH right now. You just put /TA and then type the ticker of the coin, and it's going to give us exactly where we are. So if you're looking to trade these opportunities, for example, ETH, telling us it's oversold on the RSI, it's oversold on the MF by 15 points. You've also got Bollinger Bands are in normal, prices below the SMA. You got bearish crossover mode telling you on the MACD that, look, these signals are telling us right now, this might be bad news, all right? This might be bad news. You want to grab that chart? No dramas. That mother trucker's bringing you it up as well. And you can also look at any of the trending coins. Also, you can get all of my latest content that's posted on YouTube right here. And we also have a full up-to-date news channel where you get all the latest news. Jump in there. It's aggregating everything in there that you need, keeping you absolutely dialed into this market. Like, who would not want to get any of that bullishness? So definitely check that out. Remember, how do you get involved in that? You simply grab a channel membership. It's going to cost you about $6 a month. That is in freaking insane value if you want to get involved with that. All right, everybody. What's the bad news? Well, I don't know if you've seen, but the Japanese bond market's going crazy and Bitcoin's dumping on the back of it and it's going to freaking zero. Oh, no. Oh, no. Right. What was I looking at in terms of... Oh, did I close that window down? Oh, come on, bro. Bitcoin's my retirement fund. Nice. Can't get wrong with Old Faithful. I agree. My kids have got more Bitcoin than I have, though. Congratulations to the gold and silver bugs. Yeah. absolutely dominant. Hey, who's that that's just jumped in? Is that someone just jumping in the Discord? No, it's someone typing away. Magic Craig. What have you just shared? I'm going to open it, Craig. I'm going to open it. I want to see what it is. Better not be weird. Is it weird, Craig? Oh, what's this? Craig's given us... There you go. Craig's full breakdown of the sand ecosystem. Get it, Craig. I'm bullish on you, bro. Love that. Love that. Right. Good. All right, let's keep an eye on what's going on in the price of BTC. When the rockets fire. Let's hope not, eh? That'll be the last thing we need. That'll be the last thing we need. We don't need to see any of that stuff going on right now. There's enough threats of that. There is enough threats of that we don't need it right now. Hey, 2-Bit Crypto Crew, what's going on, Mr. Lambo? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, so BTC right now, definitely looking a little bit uncomfortable right now. Let's close the dash price off and close some of this stuff now. Bitcoin falls towards 89K, so another $650 million is wiped out. Oh, bro, come on. Come on. We don't need to see that. In other news, by the way, XRP, 807 milli, locked up. Let's get it, baby. Like I said, no one, crackerjack. Someone was just saying that maybe they might end up on Greenland. But yeah, look at this. AUM is around 1,683 million. That's about, what, 1.6 billion. 807 million locked XRP on the ETF. That's pretty interesting. That's why I was saying, you know, maybe XRP is a potential long trade from this narrative. Markets are dumping right now. So in my view, you are definitely taking a risk entering at this point. Again, if you're low margin, low leverage, then you might be all right. But yeah, these are kind of a couple of ones I'm looking for. I love the facts. Goblin Town, Mark. I love that. In the wreckrabbit.com. Check that one out as well. Discord. Bullish. Bullish. What was I looking for? Here's what I was looking for. Here's what I was looking for. Maybe we can, maybe tomorrow night we set up some trades, depending on what the markets do. This could be some interesting trades. But remember, exclusive campaign for Bitunix and 2-Bit Crypto, the hottest exchange out there right now. 50% rebates. Check the link out. Get over there. Sign up. It's definitely worth it. No KYC. And everything else, including trade volume bonuses and a newbie bootcamp where you can earn up to $500. Pretty bullish. Is it worth staying in a long on BTC? I mean, I can't tell you what to do right now is the honest answer. I think two things happen. Depending what happens on this, which is the pre-market data for tomorrow, is probably the big thing. And how the second day, I mean, how long is Davos? Is it 2 or 3 days? I can't remember. Are we ever going to have a bull market? Mr. Lambo, we will definitely have one again. I just don't know when it's going to be. So look at this. Dow down 816 points. Feels like an absolute shit show. The S&P looks like it's going to close at 137 on the fair value. The Russell down a little bit. The NASDAQ looks like it's going to be really painful as well. But this is what we're interested in. Hong Kong Stock Exchange down about 0.5%. The Shanghai feels flat and the STI 0.14. So you are definitely going to get a potential risk on the Asia markets. Commodities look like they're going to fly. Europe looks like it's going to dump heavy. Volatility index is showing significant volatility in the S&P 500, so watch out for that. And then again, you got here, look, US indices look like they're all going to go down. So from a broader market, stocks looks bad. All right? Looks bad. I'm really shocked and impressed with the XLM markets dumped back to 21, put back 24. The Mofo is stable coin. Yeah, so many are like that right now. XLM. I don't own an XLM. It's at 20 cents right now. I mean, yeah. It's a similar pattern to what we're seeing played out. I mean, does it wick back down to your point, down to 20? Casey! What's going on, my man? Good to see you, buddy. Maybe it comes down this way. Maybe it drops to 20 before pushing back up. Again, a lot of this is going to depend on where the market goes right now. And a lot's going to depend on this, the price of BTC. Shanna, what's going on? Welcome in. Should I buy XRP, bro? I mean, I own XRP. I like XRP. I am in a world... Damien, thank you so much for the heart me as well. I'm in a world a little bit right now in the, I don't know if it's wise to buy anything. Just my opinion. I'm not telling you what to do with your own money, but just my opinion. Because you think, well, where is it going to go? Now, as I always say as well on this channel, by the way, if you are thinking and you're saying, look, I've got $1,000 and I want to buy in. I need to get exposure to this coin. I believe it's in a good place. Then just ladder your way in. Take $250, buy it at 188. Take $250, set a buy order at 180. For example, if I was looking to, get into this as an example, on probably two narratives actually. Let's say I'm looking to not going to put that. Let's say I'm looking to buy this out spot, right? I'm looking at spot positions on XRP. I'm going to pick a couple of points. So maybe I take a position right now. I think that I think markets reverse. I think tomorrow's green, and I think we may go into a bit of a run. Okay, so I buy a little bit now. I'm probably going to set another buy order here. This will be just at the bottom of this support line, right? This will be about 184. Okay, so it's a little pump down, nothing too crazy, but 184. I'm like, okay, that's probably what I'm looking at. What else is going to give us some key entry points on this price? Well, historically, we've seen this price level here. Because remember, what you don't want to do is set it too low that you miss it. So 179, there'd be another 250 bucks for me. So then I say, well, okay, I want to go 179. That's kind of what I go. And then you set something a little bit wild. Where have we wicked down before? Well, you can see here, look, this was a pretty big wick down. We wicked down here in April. This is obviously the big capitulation event that come in. And I'll set maybe 250 at this lower end as well. So probably something like there. 172. That gives me exposure with a potential probably average buy price of about 174, 175. You could set this bottom one lower. That's how I would, essentially enter these. You could set them even more aggressive. Right now, the market's descending. Could go lower, right? Could go lower. So I think you just have to hedge your bet. What did Trump talk about earlier? Not a lot, really. Greenland, economy, S&P 500 skyrocketing, that he's prepared to do whatever it takes to acquire Greenland. Typical Trump stuff. I bought a side back at 182 before the run up. I almost sold it, but 183 and low never came. Well, I mean, that's true. That is true. Bye, I'm trying to get out. Crazy Tank TV, what's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Best way to DCA is to put a little away into your crypto of choice every week, usually Monday morning before New York opens, especially if it's in a bear market. I mean, that's the way. Short the US markets. That's my view right now. When is the next high impact news? Thursday. So Thursday is a big day. Thursday is a big day. All right. And I'll tell you why Thursday is a big day right now. Because Trump, I believe, speaks at Davos on Thursday, I believe. Which could, I mean, who the fuck knows what he's going to say? Who knows what he's going to say? Like, Jesus. It could be pretty wild. It could be pretty wild. But you've also got some big bits of data as well. So you have GDP growth rate quarter over quarter. That's a big deal. Big deal. Consensus 4.3% GDP versus 3.8 that was revised up to 6.1, I think it was. So Thursday is GDP growth, jobless claims, core PCE. Core PCE is going to be an interesting one as well. Personal income, personal spending, all going to give us an idea of, does it feel like markets are expensive? Does it feel like I am better off? If you think about a US citizen, do I feel better right now with all of this geopolitical news going on? And this is kind of what I heard in some surveys. It's like, does Greenland acquisition make me feel better off as a US citizen? I don't know if it does. All right. I'm not a US citizen. I'm here in the UK, which I definitely feel worse off, but that's due to the ineptness of our government and what they're doing. Although, interesting ruling today, by the way. I don't know if you've seen this, that the High Court have ruled that the Reform Party can actually fight against the delay or cancellation of 21 local elections. That's pretty interesting. All right? Pretty interesting. By the way, I'm not affiliated with any particular political party whatsoever, but just letting you guys know. Okay, let's take a look. I'm sure Trump's speaking on Thursday. I'm sure he is as well. What is this? Okay, yeah, so here we go. Look, here we go. So Tuesday, this is today, Wednesday, Chinese economy. Oh no! These are all the speakers that are coming in, by the way. I mean, I bet there's some, I mean, if you were like Max Crypto, there's going to be some hilarious speakers that you'll be like, oh my God, preventing jobless growth. I mean, this must just be the most exciting place. I did actually see a statistic, by the way, and it said, how can I put this? There is a rapid increase in the requirement for late night working when Davos is on. I mean, it's pretty wild if you think about it, but 10 o'clock, I mean, look at all these water imbalance conversations with the US state governors. Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Kevin Stitt? No idea who they are. Can Europe defend itself? Public speakers are Mark Rutte. Oh, that was what someone was talking about on TikTok. All right. What else have we got? Jensen's there. Ooh, NVIDIA, 11 o'clock speaks then. That could be interesting. Conversation with Ken Griffin, President CEO of Citadel. Ooh, I mean, there might be a little bit of a conversation about crypto tomorrow. I don't think it'll form part of the like bigger part, but yeah, I think it must be Thursday then that Trumperino's talking. Must be. It must be on Thursday. Maybe he's not. I thought he was speaking on Thursday. What marks the U.S. economy? Speakers Charles Schwab, Adina Friedman. Don't know who they are. Europe. Venezuela. What next? I mean, that would be wild. Imagine that conversation. Imagine that one. Switzerland. Is it Thursday? Yeah, I think it is Thursday. But I can't find it. Let me have a look. I thought he was. I thought Trump was definitely speaking it there, but let's have a look. Is Trump speaking at Davos? Trump to speak at the White House ahead of Davos departure. Trump noted the European Union. Okay. Okay, here we go. Look, let's have a look at this. So, Trump's speech is World Economic Annual Meeting, Davos, Switzerland. Trump is scheduled to speak on Wednesday, January 21st, during the World Economic Forum's annual meeting. His appearance is listed as a special session in the official Davos agenda. This marks Trump's second address at Davos during his tenure as the President of the United States. Okay. According to the World Economic Forum schedule, Trump's speech will take place at 2:30 p.m. to 3:15 Central European Time. For viewers in India, the address will air from 7 p.m. to 7:45. There you go. So, yeah, so tomorrow then, oh my God. Short everything, we're going to Goblin Town. Ah! Oh my God. We're doing great. We're doing great. And when we got Greenland, it's going to be even better. It's going to be even better. Greenland, we've got the stars. It's going to be amazing. The Golden Dome. The Golden Dome. Oh my God, we're all going to Goblin Town. What time did we say it was? Special address by Vice Premier of the People's Republic of China. Jesus Christ. That's pretty wild, isn't it? Oh, there we are. Conversation with Scott. Am I on today? Oh my God, I'm on today. Come on, 2-bit, you noob. Sort it out. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't believe we missed it. Oh, we're such noobs. Special address by Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Addressed by Donald J. Trump. A live stream session. All right. There you go. Pretty interesting. Don't almost get the Davos confused with the geezer who was in the charge of the Daleks of the Doctor Who. Oh, BTC on a huge down. Trader Max. It is. It is. Albeit holding at 89,500. Like we said, we want to see it just tick back up above about 89. An $90,000 close today would be good news. Short Bitcoin. I mean, it could be an idea to short it for tomorrow with Trump on. God, should we do it? We could short the market tomorrow a little bit. We could do something on Bitunix, maybe. Maybe. I mean, markets look like they're going to tank. Alpha says USA is back in power. That's true. Davros, is that the guy that is that the Dalek guy? Yeah. Oh my God, what? It's 10 past 10. When did that happen? And why is there nearly 100 people in TikTok live? Remember, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. I go live every day, breaking these markets down, keeping you plugged in. Because we're max bullish, baby. We are max freaking bullish. No. No. Casey, ban that last comment, mate, please. That's insane. That is insane, bro. Just get a new one. What's up with you? Wow, Doctor Who used to be so good. Absolutely. Yeah, I haven't watched it for ages. Matt, whatever his name was a good one. I like that one. Okay, right. Good. Who comes in asking for a wallet? It's wild. People are crazy in these markets sometimes. Okay, so watch out for tomorrow then. Donald Trump speaks at 2:30 to 3:15. So he's 45 minutes. He's never going to stick to 45 minutes. He is going to be talking tomorrow. Understand that. That could be pretty tasty. It's special address by Donald Trump. Strap in for that one. He is on after such great topics as On Guard from Deep Sea to Orbit. All right, good. Good. Public speakers, Lawrence D. Fink, Borge, Brendan, whoever the heck they are. So yeah, that could be pretty interesting. Again, we'll see what that does for the markets. May end up being pretty challenging, but we'll see. We'll see. Power my guy, we're about to get jumped by everyone. Ask any veteran, we can't fight 2 wars and a civil war. I mean, that's true. The Shadow Realm is a lonely place. No, I don't want to go to the Shadow Realm. I can't do it. No one likes to go through the Shadow Realm. What I do like, though, is having a pen. A pen is quite handy. It's a fidget spinner of a pen. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, that is pretty much bringing us to the end of the stream, by the way. We've been live for like an hour and nearly 20 minutes right now. So bullish on you guys. If you haven't already hit the like and subscribe button, then definitely consider doing so. We'd appreciate being part of the community. Don't forget that link to that free Discord is also in my bio, as well as in the description here on YouTube as well. If you want premium access, just grab that channel membership. And if you want to trade all your favorite cryptocurrencies, check out Bitunix. 50% rebate on your deposits, as well as some trade bonuses and everything else. It's definitely worth it, in my opinion. Be mindful you can lose all your money, though, in cryptocurrency. It is freaking wild. What's my price prediction for the end of January? I mean, it's almost impossible to say, isn't it? Almost impossible, because whenever you like here, like a week ago, I was like, oh well, I we could definitely be retesting 100K, but understand there is some pretty big macro data drops coming. First week of Feb is going to be pretty wild, in fairness. So yeah, I mean, tomorrow we might have a better idea because we'll get some idea in terms of some of the data. So that might give us a little bit more of a view. Remember, Trump could weirdly come out and be super bullish on economics. He could be super bullish on the US. On the back of then potentially we get, GDP growth at a significant level. Remember, global GDP is at like 2.8. The US is predicting 3.8 with a revised 4.5 target. It's freaking insane. And they were at 6, I think, at the last time. So, yeah. Go! Once we get the oil in Venezuela selling and the US gets Greenland, Jordan, yeah, crypto prices will double in 26. Winter of heart. Well, let's hope so. I'm down for it. Kenshiro, I'm all about it. Thursday night, Bank of Japan does a conference which will get the market some direction to. Yeah, so by Friday, we probably have some idea. When's the next Fed meeting? 28th. So you got about a week. It says you're a week tomorrow. Don't expect anything crazy, by the way. You're gonna get no rate cuts, and you're gonna get a hawkish Fed, I think. Just my opinion. No, there's no. I would almost go as far as to say I think it's the most unlikely cut this year. There's just no way they cut rates on them. There's no way, unless ADP jobs data comes in as a fucking disaster. There's no way they cut rates. No way on this earth. In my opinion. Who am I? I don't know who I am, but yeah, keep your eyes out for it. I think we pumping metals is telling us people are moving into the risk off assets because of the climate. Yeah, I agree. People are nervous right now. Markets, like macro data, macro news doesn't really make anything. All right, Trump tariffs. What they're nervous about is tariffs hasn't been spoken about for ages, and we've actually been seeing a pretty nice move to the upside. Everyone's like, all right, cool. Even the stock market, everyone's like, oh, tariffs are a thing, everything cool. Boom, tariffs comes in, and it's like, see you later. It's the first cut of the year. It's not going to be a cut, though. That's the point. I said it's the least likely cut of the year. I.e., I think we are more likely to get cuts throughout the rest of the year, and I think markets are pricing in cuts through the rest of the year. They're 100% pricing in no cuts this time, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe jobs data is tariffs. That's because I read your comment then. Maybe jobs data is terrible, and this plays out a little bit differently. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see. Already panicked all the top, same as last time. There you go. I mean, a number of people have, in fairness. I was out 10. I'm not all out, by the way. 50% out at like 108. So I have stablecoin ready to come back into the market. We just haven't put it in yet. And a couple of other people did go into that. My wife was shocked when I showed her the price of Eagles. Now we bought a few at 13.35 joke hedge. Cool. Then I FOMO the bottom. Let's get it, E-War. I wish I was that good, bro. I FOMO the top and sell the bottom. That's like, I am the anti-trader. I I am the worst. I'm like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to Goblin Town. It's going to Goblin Town. Sell, 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 sell. And then it reverses and goes back up. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to miss the top. Buy, 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 buy. Before I know it, my entire $300 portfolio has gone to zero. Anyway, math degree should be mandatory for voted. Silver Eagle US Mint of them. Right. Yeah, I saw that. They've hiked the price of it. When does Sam Bankman-Fried get out of jail and will it affect the markets? I've no idea and no, because he's not allowed to trade anything. I mean, CZ getting out didn't do anything, did it? He's not getting pardoned either, I think. So let's have a look. Sam Bankman-Fried release date. There is no release date yet, as Sam Bankman-Fried is currently serving a 25-year federal prison sentence. He ain't getting out anytime soon. Heavy day, Connor. Yeah, tell us about it, bro. It has been rough. But the price of BTC is trying to rally back to the upside. Hopefully we get it. And if you're ever bullish, if you're not bullish enough, look at the price of USDT dominance. Going through the roof. It's up 3.5% today. Let's go USDT. That's one way to never lose any money. Hold stablecoin. Earn your yield. Get 3%. The banks don't like it though. All right, everybody. That is going to do it for tonight's live stream. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want a little bit more, don't forget to jump into the Discord. Also, I do post content every single day on my channel. I would massively appreciate it if you gave it a little watch, a little thumbs up, drop a comment. It does help out the channel. I say I've been trying to kind of be a bit more generalized. I'm going to try something a little bit different tonight. Probably a little bit more XRP focused videos because I did 2 videos today and they just tanked. Not super bad, but just probably didn't want to do it. You know, if I think this live stream's nearly getting 2,000 views, it kind of, I don't really understand why the videos do what they do. But again, if you see them, that would be great. And also don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. in the UK time. If you're interested in cryptocurrency, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest, and if you want to know what all the good, bad, and ugly news is, don't forget to tune in and join us. What are the bad news? The markets have gone to Goblin Town. And I think it's going to get worse. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow night. You take care. Let's have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.